Hey!
Hi.
How's it going? What you up to?
I was laying down. I wasn't sleeping. I was just relaxing myself on the bed.
Yeah, I thought I'd give you a shout before I go to the dentist. I'm not able to talk. Yeah, oh my god, I can't wait, like, for this thing to be over. Like, I have to talk with my tongue on this side of my mouth, because I keep on getting cut open on my tooth.
Mm-hmm.
I split a tooth, and like, oh, it keeps breaking, but like, the last part of it's like staying there, but it's all jagged. It's like cutting my mouth up bad. So it's hard. I haven't really eaten any food or nothing. It's been like almost 2 weeks.
That's a bummer. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I went back and I realized to get the finalized version of Blood, what I'd have to do is go back and pretty much write a history of what happened up to then and then what happened after. So I went back and I wrote like the first prequel, but it was so big that it's 2 parts. And then I started writing. I went back and I wrote minute for minute every minute through Ghosts of War. Went right through it, and then started piecing together what happens after that. Yeah, Wallace Lee's book is coming out. He's actually giving us his book for first. We're going to be the first review for his novel. So
the Rambo prequel.
Yeah. So we're going to be using elements for the 4th part, because we're pretty much thinking if this one works out, then we're going to do all of them. We're going to do all of them. Yeah.
Excellent.
And then after that, if we still want to go further, I wrote up a concept for a Force of Freedom feature. Yeah, which gets pretty crazy. But right now I'm at the end of casting. I'm at the end. I got like 3 people left to cast, or 2 people left. So
what other roles that are left?
Kobal, a young Kobal, a 13-year-old Kobal, and Captain Kin. I don't know if you remember who Kin is. Kin is from Rambo 2, the pirate who sells Rambo out.
Oh.
Yeah. He's actually going to be in all 3. He's going to be in all 3 versions. In the first one, when the Baker team has its first mission, he actually has a sampan, like a boat, that gets gunned down. And that's why they have that rivalry between them. And then at the end of the second one, he sells Rambo out. Like he, in the script excerpt I sent you, when it says in the beginning that Rambo, he left everything behind when he went on the lam to start hunting the Vietnamese down, and he had like in the beginning of Blood, he only has a compound bow. He got that compound bow from Kin. He buys it. Kin is the pirate we referred to in the beginning, and actually is the one who actually informs VC Commander that Rambo's on his way. So in a sense, he sells him out again. That's why in Rambo 2, when he meets, when Ko and Rambo show up, and Kin has, Kin wants to take the money, and they're counting the money. It's that that look on Rambo's face, kind of like he knows who he is, but no one's talking. It's kind of a nod to. I went back and I kind of wrote all these nods to things that happened later on in the Rambo movies.
I was thinking about that before you mentioned before you explained it. Yeah, that was ingenious because how in the scene where Rambo looks out straight, that scene where he's telling the money, folks is talking money on Rambo's face.
Thank you.
That's a good idea, man. I like that. I really like that. And the fact that he bought the compound bow from Rambo because on his boat he had all his weapons hidden.
Yeah.
Like the
rocket launcher.
I like that. It's a good touch right there.
Yeah, and so I made all these little references, like First Blood Part 2, when Rambo sees the Buddhist charm on Ko's neck, and he's like, "What is this?" And he's intrigued. There's that whole thing, and we're actually gonna have Ko's dad in the movie. I'm not sure if we're gonna show him, but he's gonna be in there. He's gonna be in there.
I knew you were gonna mention something like that. I love it. That's a good idea. I would have thought the same stuff. Definitely.
Thank you.
I love that.
But in the prequels to this prequel, there's more characters. There's like there's Kim. He actually has a bigger part, and the POW from Rambo 2. I can't remember his name, but the POW. He's already caught. Like way back then, pretty much spent his whole life behind bars. But the big one, the big nod, and it's not in this one. This one already had so many. I have 58 Easter eggs, like Rambo nods to all the movies just in this one. So for the first two, I had to kind of go back and write some different things. And the Baker team, the first mission actually has something to do with Brewer, believe it or not. I'm bringing Brewer in. But we don't see Brewer's face. He has like a bag over his head, and something had happened to him. And there's even references to the beginning of Rambo 2 where they say, like, Sheldon says that you're one of 4 men who could complete the mission or whatever it was. There's nods to that. But yeah, there's this whole big conspiracy thing with Brewer where no one's allowed to see his face. One person identifies him, and that I'm gonna be the one identifying him because I'm gonna be the Danforth, and that actually plays into Danforth's death, why he was killed in the bar in Saigon because he knew too much. Yeah. So I might touch a little bit on that in Ghosts of War. That's a major plot point from 1 and 2. And Barry has some fucking crazy scenes. Like in the second treatment, like the second part of the 3 parts. I'm not sure what movie I saw this in. I don't think it was Band of Brothers. It was like one of those Spielberg, Tom Hanks documentaries where they went in to fight the Viet Cong, and the Viet Cong had like hills or mounds with holes and tunnels in them, and they would come out of the holes and attack the Americans. Well, I wanted to have this big hive kind of thing, and the mission calls for Danforth to plant, Barry to plant these Agent Orange canisters in there. And at one point, to save the rest of the team, Barry's stuck inside, and it's just like, okay, blow the nest, and it's kind of like a beehive effect where it, like honeycombs, and all the Agent Orange is going through, and he escapes, and it's really powerful. So at the end of that scene, the only 3 people who walk out are you, me, and Rambo. Like Danforth, Barry, and Rambo are the only 3 that walk out of there. And then Barry goes home, and then Danforth is killed. And then it sets up the movie that we're working on now. So I even did the whole Innocence Lost of Rambo. Like the first part, I guess the first act of the first part is all character development, being brought up and everything. The second part is the training, and the third part is the first mission. And I wrote this awesome scene where it's like panned down from the ground. It's all wet grass, early morning, like early morning, and the camera kind of pans up, but from those low angle upward kind of pans, and it pans out in this gray skies, and it's a field, and it's all grass and wet grass and dew early in the morning, and we see all these cows, 18 cows, and all the cows are like walking, and then one of them turns to the camera, the other one, they all kind of turn to the camera, and then we hear thumping and thumping, and then we get POV shots of like Rambo running towards the cow, then Barry running towards the cow, and then Krakow and Coletta, and everybody running towards the cows, and then it cuts back like another shot to see like everybody running in, taking out their knives as they're running, and then they reach the cows, wham, and they start killing all the cows. And it's an exaggeration on a one page from Morell's book where they train, you know. It's a training montage. And they're killing the cows. And then off to the side you see Troutman walking on the sidelines, almost like a football coach, you know, like, you know, the enemy will give you 30 minutes, I'll give you 15. And you have to, you know, 3 cows per man. And then they have to like kill all the cows, and they have to drag them and make like kind of like a structure out of them, and then, you know, gut them. And, you know, Rambo's the first one to get through, so he's like helping other people kill the cows, and they gut the cows. It's just blood everywhere, and guts and entrails, and they're like climbing inside the cows, and it's freaking disgusting. It's really, really disgusting. But
the cow scene, that was in the book.
Yeah.
Did they actually do that? Did they actually train them with cows in real life?
I don't know. But yeah, a lot of the stuff from the first 2 parts is like unbudgetable. Like, we don't have a budget for it, so that's why we're doing the 3rd part first, and then if we can get a budget, we'll do the other 2. But it's a really disturbing scene, and it's played out to that Soldier's Return music. You know, like from the Rambo 4 trailer, the horns, and you can imagine everybody being...
In First Blood, when he's walking, when he starts walking to the gang, in First Blood, when he's walking... Oh no, like, at the end when he's coming out of the police station with Troutman, and they had that sad music. Yeah, and like they're all like, they're tired, and they're like crawling up in the cows, and then they start realizing that that's the point of no return. They'll never be normal again, you know. So they're crying, and, you know, Troutman gives them a moment alone because he can kind of reflect back to his own training, and it starts to rain. Kind of like washing them away from their sins, which is a point to Rambo 4, which is a nod to Rambo 4, why Rambo's always in the rain. And it's a pretty graphic. It's like a 7-minute montage of just gore. It's what gives the first part the X rating.